Welcome, everybody. This is Martin King and my co-host,
Jim O'Malley.
Jim O'Malley. This is our second episode of our series. We're covering The College Scam by author Charlie Kirk. We're going through and reviewing this book. We're digging into the data, and we're trying to share with skilled trade folks out there about what's happening in the educational business and how that is potentially impacting people making decisions to try out skilled trades. So we're trying to bust open the narrative that's been floated around for many generations now about skilled trades are dirty and they don't pay very well. So we're going to try to at least punch some holes in the educational narrative if we can. So this is our second episode, as I mentioned. If you missed the first episode, make sure you check it out on iTunes, all the different podcast networks, as well as YouTube. SkilledTradeRescue.com is where the home is for all of our content. I hope you get a chance to check it out. So what's up there, Jim? Welcome to the show. And we got lots of stuff today. We're doing our second installment. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's getting exciting because every time we take a week in between one of these, I go out and do more research, and now I got more stuff on my desk. So there's so much information out there. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know this, Jim has a long history in the education process. So if you get a chance to check Jim O'Malley out on LinkedIn, he's got a really good profile in there, and you'll get an understanding, I think, as you listen to Jim, that he does know what he's talking about when it comes to the educational process. So he's got. It's actually kind of scary, all the stuff you're digging up here, Jim.
Well, yeah. Because what's scary to me is it's right out there in front of everybody if you just go look at it.
Right. You want to dig for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, what we have to do is do the work ourselves. The media used to do this for us, but they don't do that anymore. So it takes...
Oh, they do part of it.
Yeah, they do part of it. No kidding. So what we're covering today in this episode is the cost of education, how it's become ridiculously overpriced, and that's from the Kirk book. And basically what Kirk is getting at is the burden that the cost of education is putting on the students going into college and, by extension, the parents, many cases. So we're going to be covering that today in the podcast, and we've got some really interesting data. I'm going to start out with some stuff that maybe people haven't heard about before. So back in 2015, there was some changes in politics and policy when it comes to the financing of college, and I'm going to have Jim speak to that. This is some of his material that Jim came up with, and I vaguely remember this stuff. And it's really not talked about too much, but why don't you get into this? What happened with the Obama administration, the watershed moment that happened back in 2015?